I never really set out to change the game.
Stephen Curry is the fourth highest paid player in the NBA by total contract value, and for good reason. He's considered the best shooter of all time by many, and won 3 NBA championships with the Golden State Warriors, a franchise that hadn't won a championship since 1975 before drafting Curry. But there's more to Curry than just his NBA career, and in this video, we're taking a look at the life of Steph Curry outside the basketball court. But first, a simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We're giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's all your choice, so be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter this giveaway. It's really that simple. Living like a king. Curry might not play for the NBA Sacramento Kings, but he does live like one in one of the richest areas of the country. The mansion that he bought in 2019 is worth more than some NBA players will make over their whole career, at $31 million, and came in as the most expensive house sold in 2019 for the entire Bay Area. This property is in Atherton, California. It's a place that Forbes ranked as the second costliest zip code in the country in 2010. But Curry moved there in 2019 when the Warriors made the move from Oakland to San Francisco. Atherton isn't in San Francisco itself, however, it's only made up of a few thousand people and is located a bit further out in the country in San Mateo County. The big property in Atherton that was acquired for $31 million was seemingly bought by a mysterious purchaser. But further investigation by the media revealed that Curry and his wife are definitely behind the deal. It shows that Curry really does try to stay out of the spotlight more than some of the other stars of the NBA. But that's not always possible under the all-seeing eye of the press. And $31 million is a lot of money to be moving around, even for a big NBA star. The purchase puts Curry right up there with some of the game's other expensive property enthusiasts, such as Michael Jordan and Shaquille O'Neal, even though both of those players own more properties in total. One of the reasons for the high cost is that the property was built recently in 2019 and is in an ideal location. It was designed with privacy in mind instead of just style, and is less than easily visible from the street. The land value has seemingly gone up in recent years, as the property appears to have been previously bought in 2007 for only $6.5 million. But that value comes from far before the construction of the current mansion on the property. It's worth noting that this isn't the only real estate move that Curry made in 2019. He was busy in that department ever since the beginning of the year, when he made a profit selling a considerably less expensive $6.3 million mansion in Alamo, California. He'd make another sale before the month was over by moving on from his home in North Carolina. It's certainly a big purchase for an NBA player, but in the grand scheme of things, $31 million isn't exactly breaking the bank for someone that makes as much from salary and endorsements as Curry. And we all know the endorsement money and big contract won't dry up for Curry anytime soon, given his status as the main centerpiece of the Warriors. The price also isn't that much compared to some of the others in the neighborhood. In an area where there's plenty of tech billionaires and other rich names looking to get away from the cities, the price of Curry's mansion won't raise any eyebrows for the locals. Just ask WhatsApp CEO Jan Koum, who began putting together an $80 million mansion a few doors away that was under construction as of 2019. Car collection. Steph Curry is like many of the other players in the NBA in that he's no stranger to having a car collection. It's not uncommon for basketball players to pick up a number of nice cars during their time in the league. And thanks to his huge contract and tens of millions in endorsements, spending to buy cars in cash is just a drop in the overall amount of money Curry has to spend. But which ones did he decide on specifically? It looks like his most expensive is a 2017 Porsche 911 GTS RS, a car that will run you a price tag of $187,000. And it's a car that was good enough for Curry to buy twice, based on the fact that the NBA player has 2 of them. The vehicle, of course, is a high-performance version of the typical Porsche 911 sports car. It's a kind of car that you might see on the racetrack just as often as you see it in the streets, and the price tag would usually make it prohibitively expensive for someone outside the field of racing to own one of these beastly machines. Obviously, however, the amount isn't that much compared to the millions made by NBA players. Curry has said that the car gives him the very notion of speed, and that makes sense considering its track record as a racing vehicle. vehicle. The car has participated in the Porsche Carrera Cup, a sports car racing series competed with cars of the type. It also competed in the Porsche Super Cup in support of Formula One races. The type has even been seen in the Le Mans series of endurance races, including the infamous 24 Hours of Le Mans race that last an entire day. It's not the only Porsche that Curry has made part of his collection throughout his career. For when there was a need for something that looks more like a luxury performance car instead of a flat-out race car, Curry previously owned a Panamera Turbo S that carries a similarly high price tag of $150,000. This car is definitely sporty too, but it's designed a bit more around being a street-legal luxury car rather than being a racing vehicle. However, the reason Curry doesn't have this vehicle anymore is that he totaled it in a crash in 2018, in an incident where Curry was involved in 2 different collisions on the highway but came out unscathed. Obviously, his car was a different story, and it doesn't look like he's made the choice to replace the Panamera with another one following the accident. Another car in Curry's collection is considerably less of a racing car, but is still plenty luxurious in its own right. He owns a 2018 Infiniti Q50, which has a $35,000 price tag and has featured Curry in commercials for the car line before. One of the other significant cars in the collection includes the Model X 90D by Tesla, which costs about $93,000 and features vertically opening doors instead of a more traditional design. Beyond those, the next most expensive vehicle Curry owns is another one imported from Germany, a $123,000 Mercedes-Benz G55. The truck is pretty recognizable from the distinctive boxy design and is part of the larger G-Wagon series that has seen over 400,000 units produced as of December. There are other vehicles in Curry's collection too, but those are just the most notable ones. A lot of players do buy multiple cars, but as you can see from the impressive list of ones in Curry's garage, he's made this more than just a casual hobby. Family life. Curry isn't only famous for his play on the basketball court, his family has been featured in the media a number of times, and his relationship with his wife has been the subject of praise from many users on social media as well as the press. Curry didn't get into a high-profile celebrity relationship like some NBA players have, but instead married his longtime girlfriend, Ayesha Alexander, in 2011. The two had met each other in a church group as teenagers, but it would be later on that they actually began dating. Ayesha had already begun her acting career, and Curry visiting her for an awards show helped spark the relationship. Their eventual marriage came earlier in his career, of course, and the two weren't quite a celebrity couple yet, as Curry's profile, compared to the other stars in the league, was still rising. The two chose to start a larger family quickly, having daughters Riley and Ryan in 2012 and 2015. Their son Cannon would be born later on in 2018. Riley Curry, of course, has become famous to NBA fans because of her appearances at press conferences with her father during the Warriors NBA Final Series against the Cavaliers. Many thought that Riley stole the show and added entertainment to the otherwise routine press conferences. Ayesha Curry has gotten her own attention as a celebrity figure, and while some of that can be chalked up to marrying Stephen Curry, he's not quite the only reason she's known. She was making her own efforts to become an actress before getting together with Steph, and featured in a number of minor movies after moving to Los Angeles to get her acting career started following high school. She also began food blogging and started a YouTube channel after getting married, which led to her getting a briefly live series on Food Network featuring her own cooking. Back in September 2017, she became the first spokesperson for CoverGirl that isn't an actress or a singer. The same year, she was announced as one of the hosts of the Great American Baking Show. Also, Steph's wife isn't the only other accomplished person in the Curry family. Obviously, Father Del Curry is a former NBA player, but what many don't realize is that Steph's brother, Seth Curry, is one of the most efficient shooters in NBA history. Seth is mainly known for being the younger brother of the more famous Stephen Curry, but hasn't gotten much of a chance to shine on his own due to playing with other higher-profile players who have been able to take more shots and take the spotlight. However, Seth has found a different role with the Philadelphia 76ers right now after moving from the Dallas Mavericks, and holds the record of being number 2 in the NBA's all-time three-point shooting percentage rankings. While he's taken fewer shots than his brother has overall, his three-pointers made percentage over his career is actually higher. While Steph's head coach and former player Steve Kerr tops out the list at number 1, Seth's percentage does put him above some legendary and more well-known names such as Drazen Petrovic. We haven't gotten to see the two brothers playing on the same team yet, but family get-togethers must be interesting nonetheless. After all, just about everyone in the family is accomplished in their own way, from Curry's wife to his far less famous younger brother.